Welcome to another training review. It was a gorgeous day on the harbour, the tide was low, so the sandbanks were cutting out a lot of the chop, leaving us with perfectly flat water and 15 knots to play with. Great conditions for the RS 800. Hopefully the footage is nice and smooth and will get you some good insights into our boat handling. Okay, first off with a little bit of a tack here, going through the boat, crew swapping hands behind the back, helm going out and pulling the, going to pull the trapeze line in but can't quite reach it with my body, so bringing up my tiller extension underneath my armpit to grab the hoop and guide that into the hook. And then back up into upwind, you know, 9-10 knots here, upwind boat speed, really quick in the flat water, probably 15 knots of wind speed. So, okay, coming into a windward mark rounding, going for ease of control lines before the mark rounding. Give the crew a bit of a heads up when I'm easing the kicker so that they can counteract the spilling of the wind by trimming on as the kicker releases. Ease a bit of jib, and I take the main mid-tack just from near the boom, but there's a bit of confusion because I think Guy was hanging out on the old side expecting me to take the main sheet a little bit earlier. But go for the bearway, nice set, works out pretty well, but we decided to have a little bit more of a look at that later in the sail, so I'll feature a few more kind of coming in on a port lay line, tacking around the windward mark. There's a lot of control lines to ease and swapping over of sheets. There's quite a few instances where between the two of you you can muck things up, so it's good to have a set procedure to follow. So I'll have a little bit more of a look at that later in the video, but hammering downwind, 16 knots, just nice flat water, just a lovely sail. Going for a jibe, good crew footwork, front foot goes planted one side of the deck, back foot across the other, nice wide stance, reaching for the trapeze line, staying low as they head out over the side, so good footwork there from the crew. And back into it, right down to the knots, in the foot loops at the back of the boat, 15 knots, nice day in the harbour. Okay, another jibe, this one a bit of a slow motion. Here we go, slow motion, stepping in, back foot first, front foot across the boat, swap hands at the same time as bring the back foot to the gun on the new side, reach down, hooking on, take out the slat, move out over the sides, and yeah, boat speed almost instantly up 14-15 knots, so really nice little manoeuvre there, nice and smooth. It's easy when it's flat water, but it's so satisfying as well. Back into the upwind, again 9 knots, looking to push 9-10 knots. Just pinging back and forth between the banks, so lots of tacks in this. Use a bit of jib, go through the boat, go on the trapeze handle. It's just a bit of a slow motion of me bringing that handle above the head, which draws the hoop onto the hook, so you can hook on without having to use your tiller hand. Quite a lot of windward heel on the exit this tack, which is not a bad thing, gets you, helps you get borne away after the tack.
Little light patch. Okay, just putting lines.
Okay, another bearway. Again, because we've just been going around the marks to port, we've got all the control lines the other side, so pulling around some of the control line take up, then easing the Cunningham first, getting that off, and then give the crew a shout, ease the kicker, they can trim on just to keep the power on. Ease the jib, and I take the main before the entry to the tack on this one, but you can see I just get got too much going on, too much rope in my hands, and it's a bit ugly. can't really sheet effectively on the exit to tack, and I think that was just because of passing the main sheet to the helm a little bit early gave a lot of sheet for them to manage. So yeah, again, we have a few more tries the next upwind of that to improve it, but definitely not an ideal situation on the tacking in that we're marked there, taking the helm, taking the main sheet too early.
If we take it like in the tack. Can you ease a bit of Cunningham?
So yeah, crew going forward, just ease a bit more Cunningham. Sometimes it doesn't go all the way off, so they can easily sneak out the foot loop, go forward and knock it off an extra couple of inches. Again, 16 knots, 15 knots downwind. Nice pressure, flat water. A little bit of chop over here to east head, but...
Okay, ready for a jibe?
Here we go for a jibe. Slow motion, back foot onto the side, front foot goes across. Back foot to the gunnel, switch hands, flip on, take up the slack, move out this side. Again, crew stay nice and low. Boat speed doesn't drop much below 10 knots, and oh yeah, just nice weather. You can see from this angle, just hanging right out the back of the boat. Dropped almost all the way to the knots. Lovely day, lovely sail.
Nice. Okay,
Back upwind, tack, ease of the jib.
Okay, let's go.
Crew stay nice and low. I think the helm gets stood up a little bit on the new side, but the crew stays nice and low, kind of sliding out onto that trapeze line, just keeps you nice and stable. Point of view upwind, you can see we're just nicely powered up. The main's not inside out at all, still sheeted on plenty. Yeah, just a gorgeous day.
Yeah.
Talking a little bit about the intricacies of different main halyard shackles. Rubbish boat chat on board today, but...
Okay, ready for attack? I'll take the main.
Okay, here's another one of me taking the main sheet, throw the jib away, grab the main sheet, give guy a good shout for it, take it from the boom in the middle of the tack, but it just gets a bit ugly on the entrance. I go straight out on the handle and struggling to clip myself on with the main sheet in the other hand, so
yeah, I'll get
here's another one. Drop the main sheet, grab the main sheet from Guy, mid-tack, slow motion, put the main sheet hand to the tiller, and this time I hook on before going out, so I don't get stuck on the new side, not being able to hook on, not being able to sheet. So hook on, go out, and then I'm straight away got the main sheet in my hand and can just trim that just to keep it nice on the exit. Obviously, if we're going for bare way, I'd keep that main sheet and just go pull the stick and ease the main after we've settled on the new side.
Yeah, I think it's this one.
Okay, here we are coming up for another mark rounding again, coming in on port for the tacking around the woman mark. Going to ease the control lines. Just go the Cunningham first because it has least effect on the power in the sail. Give the crew a shout, ease the kicker.
Do the same thing.
So crack the jib, and then take the main from near the ratchet block, mid-tack, go in, hook on before going out on the wire, and then I can get my hand on the main sheet and trim it correctly. Big ease, bare way, crew goes in. Really nice little procedure there we've worked out for the port approach to the mark. Kite pops, out the side, drop a little bit on the wire. Definitely a little bit less pressure on this downwind, but I think the tide was coming in now, so I think that probably took a couple of knots off it. So we're not both in the foot loops downwind, but still a nice amount of pressure in the sails, good amount of speed. Not drop to the knots. Really now just kind of high wiring, but
ready for a jibe?
Here's a jibe, slightly less wind. You can see have a bit more heel on the boat just to help the rate of turn. When it's breezy, you just want to be as flat as possible in the jibes on the heel. But when it's lighter, you can afford to have a little bit more windward heel on the entry and a little bit more leeward heel on the exit, just to help the boat steer and you don't have to worry when it's lighter winds about the boat running away from you. So yeah, just a fantastic sail. Hopefully that was a good insight, some good slow motion analytics of our little session in December. And got a few more videos planning to come out, some really basic stuff about learning to helm from the wire. An 800 is a great boat to first pick up those skills, and probably a few videos just on the basic, how to rig the boat and general settings. Yeah, enjoy your sailing. Take care.